Hey guys, thanks for tuning in into another episode of Gripworks. What the was I saying earlier? So what I showed you right now was just the rear upgrade suspension that we're gonna do.
Wait, sorry, I that up. Because I made noises.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Gripworks. So we got a update video on this one for the 2001 Trans Am WS6, and we were able to locate a donor car that we just had to get. As you can see over here, we've already started taking it apart, and this one I think was a 2000 Trans Am, also a manual model, is a T56 model. I think by the looks of it had some sort of a accident, and he ended up giving up on this. I did talk to the owner. He actually was going to put the drivetrain in a WS or a RX-7 he was going to swap it into that he wanted to do. But lucky for us, we got all the suspension stuff, and we want to put that in to this one that really deserves it. Alright guys, so to begin, we went ahead and we took apart all of these parts from the donor car. So to begin, we have here the AGX KYV shocks in the back. We have the isolators and the spacers, as well as the rear eye-block lowering springs. We had, of course, the massive lower rear control arms with the spherical rod and bushings, with the relocation brackets, of course, because we are going to lower it and we're going to try to get the right pinion angle to get the max traction that we can possible. We had the Panhard bar right here, also from the same brand, massive, with also the same spherical bushings, with the, of course, relocation bracket in case we ever want to go to a 3-inch exhaust outline. We got that there. So with the diff, we were going to originally swap the donor diff onto this one, but we noticed that when we did the whole rotational tire test that it spun this way, which made it seem that it's an open diff. Now we did an extra test to kind of give it that initial takeoff, and we did feel a slip into it, so we did narrow down that it's actually a limited slip diff on this Trans Am. However, this WS6 model was offered with a posi. I think it's, I'm not sure if it's called a torsion, but it's a posi diff, which means it's going forward in positive direction all the time. So we wanted to keep that because that's just what we have. Camaro has it, this has it. I'd rather keep it original that way. When we did take it apart, it was actually really dirty. It had this sort of a light brown color, so we went ahead and we're going to freshen it up here. So what we got for that is the correct weight, 7590. It has to be Ford limited slip, which this one is, and it has to be synthetic because that's what's original. And then we got, of course, the gasket. And anytime you're dealing with a limited slip or posi as far as GMs go, we gotta get this guy. So be sure to get this one. Get this part number. It was superseded, used to be an old part number, but this is going to be what you need. Make sure it's, I believe it's like a friction modifier, to make sure that it actually works and engages and functions properly. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean the diff. This one is especially dirty, so we're going to take care of that. And to clean it up, we're going to put the new diff fluid. Alright, so starting off, we've already disassembled the rear suspension on it. So, first things first, these are the ones we're going to put on. They're the KYV AGX. It's nice. They are twin shocks. So, what it basically means is that instead of the monotube design, this has another tube, which, of course, you could set the position, how firm or how stiff you're going to do it. So, this is the rear. We're going to put a set in the front too, and we just want to make sure it matches, just like we have the springs here. So that's where we're going to go ahead and we're going to take off the rear ones that we installed earlier on the Edelbrocks, as they're non-adjustable, and we're going to take off the front coilovers that were in that setup because we really didn't have the spanner wrench to adjust them anyway. So that's why we're gonna put these on. Take these off. And next step, we took off the rear lower control arms, these stamped ones. So they're basically just a cheap, economical way to basically manufacture and put these on. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go with the stronger tube design, which has that torsional strength, as well as these spherical bearings, which are of course a much stronger material than these rubber ones. And because there's no sort of rubber material, it's going to go ahead and give us a more positive feel, a lot more feedback about what's going on as you're driving, as you're launching, as you're taking corners and such. So that's going to be the benefit, removing all these stamped parts, just like we have the stamped panhard bar over here. Same reason, we're going to get rid of these, get away from these rubber and stamped cheap steel design, and same idea. Same idea. So we have these tubular design, torsional strength, and of course the upgraded bushings for stronger, better feedback on the road. That's what it's going to be. And of course, for the same reason, adjustability. That's kind of the main focus here. The cool, fun way of just having it is that it's tunable, it's adjustable, and we can make and change any settings we need. Same thing with the springs here. Taking out the old springs, which do seem to be a little bit taller, as of course we're putting a lowered one, but of course spring rate is a factor here, so of course the spring rate is going to change that, so it doesn't really matter the height there. But these should be an estimated 1.5 inch lowering on the eye box springs here. So going back about the brackets just one more time, this bracket is of course going to relocate the panhard bar, so that's going to position it up at a higher height. So of course, if we need to put in a 3-inch exhaust or bigger, or 3-inch exhaust, we can go ahead and put that in. It's going to add clearance, give us more clearance there. These relocation brackets already had it, so we're going to put that in. Kind of helps when you're lowering the car, so that you can set the right pinion angle, and of course adds adjustability, as that is the theme here, is more adjustability to of course give us better traction for the right pinion angle of the rear lower control arms. And I think that should pretty much do it. Ready to go. We'll put these back on and we'll catch up at the end in a little bit. As you can see right there, they actually cut the bracket that goes on the other side of here. So that's exactly what we need to do to the other side. So to replicate that, we need to cut the bracket here so that we could then put the relocation bracket.
One eternity later.
Alright, so
It
done.
is.
Late. It's late.
It's 4:22 a.m.
So
Freaking tired.
we didn't get to do the front, but we did knock out all of the rear. There may be some little adjustments we got to make because some things weren't as smooth as they were supposed to be. But then again, we're going off of someone else's measurements, and we didn't really go through the pinion angle and just see where we're supposed to be at. So that's for a later time. We'll try to knock out the front another time. But for now, thanks for following us. Thanks for watching. And like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.